1, 2, 3. Okay, all right. Hey everyone, Bahzad back again, and today I'm back with the big boss, Brandon Svarc.
Heyo.
And today, for the last podcast of the year, I wanted to do a 2017 recap, and then talk about the future, 2017, and things to look forward to in the future. So to get things started off, I'm just gonna jump into some questions. 2017 was a big year for us. The years go by faster and faster for me, and I think 2017 went by like a flash. And I'm just trying to think to myself, I'm going to ask you this question. What were some of your highlights of 2017?
Well, some of the product highlights that we did, man, it's hard to remember after 10 years of doing this. But in the spring, we did the green tea dye jeans,
That's right.
which were pretty damn amazing. They were pretty fun.
Remember the cool thing about that was that when we got to actually see the dye being made, a lot of people don't get
to
that.
Taste it.
That's it. Exactly, right?
Cool.
We went to the tea development, not the tea, but the dye development place, and they're showing us how they make all these natural dyes, and they can make dyes from basically anything. And just to watch it come from idea to see how the dye is made to dyeing, and finally making the jean, I thought that was really really cool jean we came up with this year.
It was very cool to see how small batch they made it in, and how everything was made naturally, and like we said, the fact that we got to taste the dye. How many times you get to taste something that you're going to dye, and so that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. On that same trip, we also, was it that same trip? Now this is where my memory starts to mess around. When we were looking for the leather for the kaiju jeans, because for me, another big memorable jean for this year was the kaiju.
Yeah, we wanted to use cordovan for a while. We love shell cordovan. We love rare and beautiful materials.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to implement it for a while, and we searched around in Japan. We found a tannery who had all these amazing colors available and everything, and we used it in our kaiju jeans. That was also in the spring.
That's right.
2017.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was probably the coolest material leather patch we ever used in the past 10 years.
Is that? Now I'm trying to think if that is. Is it? In the last 10 years, is that the coolest? It's pretty damn cool, don't get me wrong.
Well, we used the basic designs. We didn't use a custom design on it.
Yeah.
So it's not the coolest design, but
material-wise?
I'll tell you one thing. It's the most expensive leather patch we ever made.
That's true.
That's a fact.
So the leather, the cordovan piece is really about the size of a basketball.
Yeah, I wish we had one here. It's bigger than a basketball. It's maybe 2.5 basketballs, but something about this big.
Okay.
It's the butt of the horse.
Yeah,
but
that's
not
right.
Which is not the tuchus of the horse.
Yeah.
It's the upper
it's
thigh.
the side butt.
It's the upper thigh, not the rump.
Yeah.
And they polish it up.
Real good.
Get it to look amazing without the use of so many excess chemicals.
That's right.
So it's pretty neat.
How many leather patches did we get out of one
I think
piece?
we were able to cut maybe 20 leather patches out of one
right on
piece. Well, we did some wallets out of it too. I have my shell cordovan red leather hand sewn wallet.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible, and guaranteed to last. I think your lifetime.
Yeah, I mean this. Everyone knows denim and leather are two favorite materials. They get more beautiful the more you beat them up. So enjoy them.
You know what my favorite highlight of 2017 was?
Let's hear.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, of
so
course.
For me, maybe you guys know me. You don't go. No, I'm a humongous Street Fighter fan, and we got to work with Capcom on this project, and I thought it was really cool the way that we were able to integrate the personalities of the characters of the game into denim material, and just so many of you guys know, maybe you don't know, I got married in the spring.
Hooray!
Thank you. And during our little honeymoon, we didn't have a long honeymoon. We were in Japan, but we made a break in our honeymoon so that we can go to the Capcom offices in Tokyo to go meet with the Capcom team.
Yeah.
I thought that was really fun. A lot of people wouldn't work during their honeymoon, but that wasn't work for me. That was a lot of fun. I really the little Bahzad inside of me was just wow, holy shit!
Well, I knew you were not going to say no to that meeting, and then I told the Capcom staff that we were in the middle of your wedding trip. Or that this meeting was during your honeymoon, and they gave him a
some figurines,
a nice little limited edition Chun-Li figurine.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah, they told me not to sell it.
Yeah, you didn't sell it.
I didn't sell it.
Capcom, we didn't sell it.
We didn't sell it. I still have it. It's at home. That I think it's rare or something. I don't know, but anyways, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that was. I mean, that wasn't all of 2017, but I think those were my personal favorite and your personal favorite moments to think about. I mean,
we basically have the best job ever.
Yeah,
we get to make pants and play with Capcom and things that have nostalgia for us. Street Fighter and stuff. So, pretty damn good job. My friends are like doctors and lawyers and accountants. I get to make pants.
That's right. It's
So we are blessed.
I think so. And well, looking forward to 2018, we have a lot of big projects coming up and a lot of things to look forward to. Maybe you'd like to share some of those projects with our lovely audience.
I think you've
segued a little
said
bit.
It before, but we're opening up a store in New York City in 2018, so that's pretty damn exciting. It is our 10-year anniversary as well, and so that's two big things.
Yeah, two humongous things. So the store right now, we're in the middle of like working with our interior designers, trying to get the right mood and right feel for the store. It's gonna be a Naked and Famous Denim store.
Yep.
So it's gonna be mono brand, and this is gonna be the first place in America where you can find everything, every single thing that Naked and Famous Denim makes. We will have it on display proudly. We're working on some really cool ways to display these jeans also. Somehow the video has stopped, but that's okay. We're gonna keep talking, and I'm gonna see if I can get this video working again. I think it's working again now. So anyhow, you'll probably see a little delay in the video. No big deal. But back to the store. The store is gonna open sometime early spring. Fingers crossed. There's a lot of regulations and things we got to get around.
With construction, you never know, but the goal is to be open spring 2018.
Yeah, so hopefully we're going to see you all there or come and visit us and say hello. Although me and Brandon probably won't be there on a daily basis, but we'll be popping in every now and then.
That's right.
We're just in Montreal, just an hour flight away from New York City, so we'll be in and out as necessary, I suppose.
We'll have some pretty cool stuff in the store. It should be pretty badass.
Yeah. And another thing to look forward to in 2018, my brain still has to catch up, is round 2 for Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's right.
So we had our holiday kind of drop, the first drop, round 1. Round 2 comes out in the spring. Mid-spring, expect a couple of new characters, and anyways, that's as much as I can say about that for now. Some of you guys may have already seen, I teased a lot of this on Instagram, some of the Street Fighter shirts that will be coming out, so expect to see those. Those are really, really cool. They're not printed shirts. They're actually, can you explain how we did it?
It's a process called cut jacquard. So basically each one, it's people think it's embroidery, but the process is called cut jacquard, and each one is woven into the fabric during the weaving process, not afterwards. And so you have, how much am I allowed to say about the shirts?
Say it all. Say it all.
So, so we get all these beautiful icons all over jacquarded, all over, not printed, but all over iconed on the shirts. They'll be pretty cool.
And in the summertime, you were wearing it in New York City, and it just so happened that a very, very big Street Fighter tournament was just going on, and I guess some people knew, and every time somebody saw that shirt, they were just like,
liquor store.
Yeah, I went to that liquor store, and that guy was like,
whoa, that shirt is sick, man. You here for the tournament?
So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, anyhow, the shirts are going to be pretty badass. The jeans are going to be incredible. I think you guys are all going to like it. If you liked round 1, you're going to love round 2, and we're going to keep going on with that for a couple of seasons. So if you haven't seen your favorite character yet, we can't cover them all, but we're going to cover most.
Original characters.
Yeah. Another thing, as you said before, in 2018, it is our 10-year anniversary.
Yes, sir.
So
started the brand February 2008.
That's right.
So February will be our 10-year anniversary on the money.
So with that being said, we released a 10-year anniversary jean. Those have already shipped to stores. They're on our website. You're going to be able to check those out now. It comes in Super Skinny Guy, Weird Guy, and the Easy Guy just dropped also, so you can definitely check those out. It's man. So the theme of this jean was 10, 10, 10, everything 10.
That's it.
So we have our 10-year anniversary leather patch with the rainbow color hollow foil stamping.
Yeah, exactly. Metallic foil stamp.
Right. We got the 10-color rainbow selvage edge with 10 colors. It's pretty really fat like selvage edge, which is really cool.
5 colors on each side of the edge.
And then 10 different kinds of cotton from 10 different countries.
Yeah, this is actually something that I've wanted to do for a long time, was make a crazy blend of lots of different cottons into one to see how it would fade, to see how it would react. And so it was just kind of like the perfect, it was the perfect storm of stuff. Oh, here, 10, let's go with the 10 theme, and we use 10% of all these different cottons. Well, I have an amazing photo that I wish I had in higher resolution, but the mill sent us a photo of the 10 bales of cotton all lined up in a row. From like different countries.
Yeah.
That photo looks so cool. It's like a tiny little crappy phone photo.
Oh no. But, okay, well we're gonna have to find a picture and post that up.
We'll find it and share it.
Yeah. And so now we're in our 10-year anniversary. At least we're approaching it, and there's a lot of things to kind of reminisce about it. But one of the things that I found in our showroom recently is right underneath your arm right here, which is our very, very first. I don't know if it was our very first, but maybe one of the earliest lookbooks that we had. And it's not so much a lookbook as it is. Do you want to maybe hold that up?
It's just like a presentation swatch book kind of thing that I did, 10 years ago. I probably built this 11 years ago.
Yeah.
While I was, looking for fabric and just bringing it to shows. I thought it would just be a fun piece to show. And it says 8 flavors of Japanese selvage denim, and I used all of the fabrics that we had in the very first season. So this was probably first season and some of second season's fabric. Is the natural indigo organic selvage, the
logo selvage.
Yeah, we used to call it the logo selvage. We took away the logo and turned it into the deep indigo selvage denim.
So just so you guys can get a better look at it, we called it logo selvage because we put the Naked Famous embroidery right in the selvage edge there.
Also jacquard.
But we never ended up producing this fabric for a jean. We did. There was a Loveless collaboration.
Yeah, this crazy, amazing store
in Tokyo.
In Tokyo called Loveless asked us to do one, so we did Naked and Famous x Loveless.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. That was our first ever full color leather patch. They wanted us to do a denim jacket with a giant, the naked lady on the back, and
it was a little crazy.
It was too crazy for me, especially at the time.
Yeah, anyways, this embroidery idea or the jacquard idea came back in the vulgar selvage.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that was also this year, and I'm wearing them right now. Actually, those ones are so funny and fun. Again, we have the greatest job ever. We get to put swear words in jeans when other people have serious jobs. The heavy soft, 21 ounce, big slub. I love that we were able to do this first ever season. Come out with an 18 ounce slubby rough denim. Especially 10 years ago, people weren't ready for it as much, and people used to touch this and be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, this is.
It was pretty crazy. I remember seeing that before I was even working for you and thinking, this is insane. And I think they were like $130 or something like that.
Yeah, $130 or $140 retail. That was our most expensive
my God.
It was at the time also.
For a denim of that quality at that price point at that time, all of the Naked and Famous pricing blew my mind.
Yeah, that was the idea.
And it still does. It still does. Don't get me wrong. I think we're having some technical difficulties again. I don't know. My camera's acting up. Anyways, I'm gonna hit record again. Sorry about that, guys. You're gonna see some intermittent blackouts. I don't know.
Oh well.
It happens. Technical difficulties. Okay, continue on.
Yeah, here, the 13 ounce basic indigo, and the black one. One of the coolest one though in here, which we never actually used. I love that it's here. We did a big slub 18 ounce denim, like
all white.
I thought I had a roll of this, and I don't know where it is anymore. But imagine a white 18 ounce slubby, like it's hard to see obviously in the camera, but it's really like slubby and rough. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool.
It was pretty crazy.
I bet no one ever bulk used this fabric. I mean, who wants a heavyweight white? It's amazing. We should probably try to find
we should probably maybe find that roll
and make a handful of jeans.
Yeah. And then the vintage blue.
The vintage blue.
Yeah. So this comes back in different variations from time to time, but that was in fact the very first Naked Famous jean I ever bought.
These are all the selvage ones. We had also 2 non-selvage denims the first ever season, which is the Black Power stretch, which still exists, strong for 10 years.
Yep.
And we also had the silk stretch denim.
Yeah. That was very strong for many years.
It was very strong. It blew people's minds because it was so different and the grain was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really stretchy and comfy also. Several of my friends say that that's still their favorite jean that we ever did.
Yeah, we brought back some silk options from time to time, but that very first silk denim, that was something special when it came out. Oh, right. Well, there's a couple of more things to talk about with regards to 10 years. And I was thinking maybe this was like a nice time to ask you some questions about like the beginnings of Naked and Famous Denim. Like, what was it like starting the brand out? I mean, I wasn't even here yet. And I mean, I know maybe some of the answers here, but I'm sure some of our audience here would be interested.
Well, I mean, I started to develop the brand at 24 years old, and so it was quite scary, but also super fun at the same time. And you're trying to build something, and I was, of course, passionate about denim, but I was constantly learning, and every year and every month you learn so much more. I mean, I know so much more now than I did in the beginning. You look back and it's like crazy how much I didn't know back then.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the scariest and most fun part of the past 10 years was, the first 1, 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
I had to just go and put samples in a bag and hit the road and knock on doors. Nobody knows anything. So, hey, I'm just a young dude trying to sell this made in Canada stuff. Oh, some people were like totally into it right away. Some people told me to go jump in a lake.
And then some of those people told you to go to jump in a lake came back later on saying, hey, why don't you jump on my ship?
Of course. But we got we got pretty lucky. We had a great setup and we met the right people pretty fast. We got into Barney's in our first ever season.
That's right.
So I think few brands can say that they've accomplished that, especially a few indie brands.
That was pretty exciting. I mean, very, very first season, Barney's in New York. That must have been, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, it gave us a legitimacy right away. So first ever season, my dad's been working with me for 10 years too, and I knew that made him proud. My grandfather was still alive at the time also, so I know that totally made him super proud too. He's the one who started our company, or our parent company, 73 years ago. So, 73, 74, something like that years ago. And he was still alive for the first few years, so I'm really glad that he got to see us establish
the first initial success
and carry on, his legacy. So that's pretty special to me too.
So, well, I was gonna ask next, maybe you did answer it in that question, but at what moment did you feel like you made it, like Naked and Famous was a legit, it was a thing?
Yeah, maybe. I could have said when we sold to Barney's, but actually when Barney's reordered, I think, because you could, to sell it, to get it in, to try it is one thing, but then we, basically we sold to them at a show called Blue. It doesn't exist anymore. It's this trade show with the one big long alley, and they came to the show, and my friend Jeff was helping me work the booth, and I had gone just to get one quick thing to eat. I come back and there's these ladies with clipboards, and they look very sharp, and I said, hello ladies, my friend says. Not just ladies, Barney's. I threw the cookie on the I dropped it to the side. I'm like, oh, hey, look, and give a good
pitch,
a good excited sales pitch, and they're laughing at and with us. And I said, okay, we like this. Come to New York in a couple weeks and show it to our boss lady. And so we went and we showed it to her, and she's like, wow, this we think this is cool. Let's test it out. So they tested out for 4 stores, and so we had stock already because we had pre-sold to Canada, and so we shipped them some stock. 2 weeks later, they call us, okay, we sold all of it. Let's continue the test and send some more. Okay, great. Send more stock to them, and 2-3 weeks later, they call back, okay, we sold 90% of it, so we like it. Let's put it in 14 stores.
Yeah.
And they gave us an order that was way bigger than all of the stock that we had. We only had a few hundred pairs or something.
Yeah.
So we had to fly in fabric from Japan, cut and make and sew it as fast as we could, send it back to them, and in the second season, we were already in 14.
We were in all doors.
And then by I think the third season, we were all doors.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I joined. I don't remember.
8.5 years ago or 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's hard to map exactly the moment, but yeah, that's pretty incredible. I mean, we meet a lot of brands, new brands, and some of them stick around, some of them don't stick around. And I think for us to be around 10 years, being an independent brand, I think it's a pretty incredible thing that we've done, and we've managed to keep a tight ship. We're still just a few guys, girls, a lot of women working here as well. And I don't know. To me, I'm always impressed with the amount that we're able to accomplish with, the resources and the amount of people that we have. And it doesn't take this humongous company to build this thing. I mean, I think we're big.
We would rather be lean.
I think so.
I mean, maybe a very small indie brands look at us as big, and then the monster brands from Los Angeles and all over look at us like we're the tiniest little thing. I love it. It's the perfect place for us to be. We like to be. I
like being right here. Yeah.
We like to be a medium to big size indie brand.
Yeah.
Your video, Bahzad.
Oh, more technical difficulty. Sorry, I'm using a new camera, and anyways, it's clearly not cooperating with me. But that's okay.
To finish that point, I think that we achieved our longevity or the 10 years of longevity that we had because we are not a glamour or advertising focused brand.
Yeah.
And instead of being focused on trend and advertisement, we focus on product. We focus on product, and we compete on price too. And because of that, because we're a product value brand, that means that we can exist.
Yeah. And okay, maybe the last thing, how are we able to achieve such incredible prices? Some people, they don't understand maybe like the pricing model of how the industry works, and in our situation, we're able to cut out a lot of, we tell a lot of people, we cut out a lot of middlemen. And
we cut a lot of middlemen, and we cut a lot of things too. I mean, we don't do advertising. That's one thing that's very expensive. Like most brands, almost every brand does at least an image campaign. For example, they hire models, they hire a photographer, they hire stylists, makeup artists, and every season they put together a whole big show. I mean, the big brands spend millions and millions of dollars on this, and smaller brands spend hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on it, or thousands of dollars. We spend zero and have always spent $0 on on any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a huge saving right there.
Sure.
We also are able to make everything in Canada in our own factory, so we don't have a middleman there. We don't have anybody making a commission. We don't have distributors all over the world. We stay lean and mean. And we don't have any duties to pay also, that when we make everything in Canada, send it to the United States.
That's right.
Please keep our NAFTA alive.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I got really excited. Yeah. But yeah, that is, I mean, for us, we're always about value. We're always trying to create the best possible product at the best possible price. And I think that is certainly what has kept us relevant and alive for the past 10 years. And of course, fingers crossed, many, many, many more years. And I also tend to believe that we keep our ear to the ground. Like, we're always kind of paying attention of what's going on in the denim world, and we're not trying to do what's already been done. There's a lot of products out there that are very heritage focused or focused on like a certain era, and I think that's very limiting as far as like what you're able to create. If your mindset is, I'm a heritage brand, then the only things that you could possibly make are these things within this bubble, right?
We have our own kind of bubble in a certain way, in that we don't do wash jeans. So some brands, they take one fabric and they do a million different products by washing in different ways. Sure. But of course, that's not our ethos. So our bubble forces us instead to make products based on developing new fabrics.
Yes.
And that's how we're able to achieve that innovation, is that our own bubble takes us in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just love fabric, and we love developing and sourcing new fabric. I mean, that's definitely the best, or my most favorite part of the job, is sourcing and creating something that has never been done before. And I think it's our love and passion for that lets us do it.
Yeah, I think so. All right then. This is running a little longer than usual, so hopefully we haven't bored you to death by now. Hopefully you're very excited by this little podcast that we do. So I'm going to let you guys go. I just wanted to let everybody know how much I appreciate you guys watching this and all the comments and feedback that you give me. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year, prosperous 2018. And thanks for coming along the ride with us. We'll see you guys in the new year. Be sure to like and subscribe, of course, and leave some comments below. I basically answer everything. So I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.